Welcome everybody to this month's forum. I think with more than 4 years, this is the first one. Somehow it didn't happen, not in my calendar. So, but I'm still here. Yeah, so that was really good to see you, and it's really good to have Terry running it. That's first time for Terry too, I think. You were helping, but they haven't been this position. So, and it's Ernie here.
Yes, I
There's
am.
Ernie.
Where are you?
I'm over here
She'll
waiting.
Hi.
Hello,
spotlight her.
everyone. Hello, welcome.
Okay, and in case you are new here, so I'm Paul and Becky and me. Mostly Becky is going to present on this forum, and Ernie's who organize and help everybody to come to the forum if you get lost getting here. And Terry is running the technical work here. So be nice to her. If she doesn't like you, she just mute you or let it off. Uh, yeah, that's all I have to say. Ernie, do you want to say something?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful forum. This is going to be a big group. Everyone's excited to hear about the topic from Dr. Lamb and from Master Trainer Becky Rahe. I think most of you know Becky, and of course, everyone knows Dr. Lamb. We're so looking forward to hearing what you have to say about this very interesting topic. Okay, be sure to mute yourself unless you later on have a question, you can put it into the chat box and we'll watch for the comments and the questions there as we have time to get to them. Okay, so enjoy the forum. It's going to be fun.
Thank you,
And I,
Ernie. And Terry, would you like to say something?
yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to watching the
Maybe.
Tai Chi walking. And hopefully I can manage this. I was kind of thrown into this at last minute, so be patient. We'll get the techie stuff working.
You're doing
Okay,
good,
well,
Terry.
thanks. Thanks, Terry, for doing the job in the last minute notice. Um, and okay, so yes, I actually somehow missed that in my calendar. But let me introduce Becky. Becky probably doesn't need any introduction. She's been a master trainer. She's been managing my USA workshops for many years. She's an amazingly well-organized person. Her Tai Chi is terrific. And one of the things I really like about um, is that Becky has a way she really get along with everybody and she's really good at working with people. The first time I met her, she had the whole family and all her friends. Everybody was helping her to do the workshop. I was so impressed. That's who we are, you know. We are a community of friends, and we need people like Becky who just bring people together and work with everyone. Um, so, uh, so that's I think she can. You all know her. So yes, Becky, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Lamb. I just, this whole thing with the Tai Chi walking, when I hear people talking about this new Tai Chi walking, I tell them, believe it or not, I've been doing Tai Chi walking for almost 24 years when I started doing Dr. Paul Lamb's Tai Chi for Health programs. So it is incorporated into our programs. And so tonight, I'm so excited to get to share the Soon style Tai Chi walking with you. And if any of you have this book here, Overcoming Arthritis, this is one of Dr. Lamb's books that he co-authored with Judy Hortzman. On page 112 and 113, two of my favorite pages, is on the Tai Chi walking. And, so if you have ever seen this book or haven't, you might be able to find it, because I don't believe it's in print anymore, but I've actually found it out there and bought extra copies to have at my workshops in case someone wanted one. So, but really exciting to share with you tonight. One of the things I wanted to get started with is thinking about the harmony between the shoulders and the hips, the nose and navel, and also thinking about the midline, because a lot of times we'll step too narrow. So I wanted to start with a couple of the warm-ups that I see people, when they're doing it, they might be stepping a little close to the midline, or they might be overturning or twisting. So I thought maybe we would start with that. I'm going to get right into it because I really enjoy teaching this movement, and I want to make sure we have time, to get plenty of practice. And so I'll go ahead and switch my view on my camera. There we go. Great. So let's just take a moment to get into our posture, our Tai Chi posture. And yes, normally with the regular warm up, we would do the walk around and we'd do all the warm ups. But, Tai Chi walking, when I'm teaching my Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention classes, anything with Soon style, I'll start out with getting them into just being in the moment, working on the breath work, finding the beauty in the breath work, moving into the warm-ups, but then I add these Tai Chi walkings that I'm going to be doing with you tonight or today, wherever you're at. So our legs are hip width apart. Let's think about our Tai Chi posture. And we're going to have a seat on a stool, our height. So you see right here, this is my midline, this line going here. This is my 90 degree. These are my 45 degrees. So this is within my body frame. So now that we're sitting on a stool, our height, let's get back to that Tai Chi alignment. We're going to allow the spine to align. And we're going to bring those shoulder blades back and down into their pockets. We're going to feel the shoulders, elbows, wrist, fingers, just allowing our joints to open, letting go. We're going to bring the chin in just a little bit. And when we do that, we're going to feel the crown reach up towards the sky. So a nice lengthening of the spine, finding that focal point straight ahead, looking beyond that point, or soften the gaze. The tongue is on the roof of our mouth, the teeth are gently touching, and the lips are gently touching, drawing our breath in and out through our nose, allowing our breath to calm our mind and calm our bodies, letting go. Remembering that as we practice tonight, it's at our pace within our comfort zone. So let's just focus on our breath, allowing ourselves to be in this moment. As we draw the breath in, bringing it all the way down to our lower abdominal area, into the dantian. We're going to feel the gentle expansion all the way around, up and down. Then as we breathe out, we're going to lift the pelvic floor or contract the pelvic floor. I'm going to feel this gentle contraction all the way around, up and down. Allowing ourselves to be in this moment. Good. Now, the first warm up that I wanted to talk about was a spine warm up where we're just going off center. And when we do that, I want you to think about the shoulders and hips having a harmony together, and the nose and the navel harmonizing together. And if you think about the upper hand, it's going to be at middle dantian or heart center, and the lower hand is at the dantian. And we're sitting on that stool. But if you imagine now that the tailbone is going down into the earth, and we're going to be moving around the spine when we do this warm up here. And so usually I take my thought and put it into this foot, and I give a little intention there, and it just turns me off center. And so a lot of times what I see is people turning and twisting when they get here. So when that happens, we're going to feel it on the inner knee here. And we're also wringing the spine. So we're just moving around the spine. So think of it more of moving around the spine. So we're just going to go off center. Now we're going to gently turn that ball over because we're putting our thought here, and then a little bit more intention. So right now my shoulders and hips are to the front, and a little bit more and I go off center. So turning that ball over by putting the intention in this foot and give a little press through the K1 kidney point or the bubbling well. And then we just go off center. So you can see that my hand isn't going to the end. If we get to the inner thigh, we've gone too far. So it's just off center. So the shoulders and hips stay harmonizing together. If I overturn, you can see that that connection is no longer there. So gently turning the ball over and then just off center. Nice and slow, relaxing the muscles around the sacrum. So again, I was just doing a couple of the warm-ups that I felt that I notice with returning instructors and of course newer instructors that sometimes we go just a little bit too far with that. So keeping it safe. Good. All right. Now another one that I'd like to focus on tonight would be the hip one where we go forward and back. So with that, again, our legs are hip width apart. And when you come over to sit on one side, I want you to think about sitting down here. Because a lot of times I'll just see people, they'll lean or just throw the weight over there, or they'll pop the hip out. That's another thing we're good at doing. So, but I want you to think about sitting in that chair. Okay, so we're going to breathe in and we're going to bring the arms up. And as we breathe out, we're going to bring the hands back and we're just going to touch the heel out in front of the hip. So see how I'm not at the midline? This is another thing I see people doing. So they're going a little narrow. Then bring it back under the hip, and where the heel would have been, I'll touch the big toe. So it's just behind the hip at a diagonal. So I'm going to touch under the hip and in front of the hip. So just in front and just behind. So we're teaching ourselves, getting it into our muscle memory to not step too far forward, too far back, or staying off the midline, which can too narrow causes instability. Let's bring that foot back and we're going to sit down here and we'll touch the heel out in front, and we can pause in the middle and just behind. Or you can take it forward and back. Forward and back. And that's another thing too. A lot of times people will want to bring that foot back here versus over here, giving ourselves that nice base in the for our Tai Chi and Qigong. So shake it out here. All right, good. Next, we're going to do a little bit, and we're going to get right into our Tai Chi walking here. We're going to do our forward and back, or our lively step. All right, and I want you to think about that midline, but I also want you to think about just in front of the hip, just behind. When we're stepping forward, just because we're saying step, it doesn't have to be a big step. It could be just about a half a step in front of where our toes are. So I'll turn my back this time and have you follow me, and we'll start in our Sun style stance. Nice upright posture. You can have a space in between the heels. That's okay. And I'm going to have you shift into one side, and just out in front of that foot, you're going to advance the foot, touch the heel. Now feel the big toe. Now that it's down, we'll shift the weight forward, and we're going to touch the ball of the foot and lower the heel to almost touching. You can see that foot is at a 30 to 40 degree angle. We're going to step back at a diagonal, touch the ball of foot, lower the whole foot, peel the foot up where the heel is, touch the ball of foot. Where the ball of foot is, touch the heel, lower the foot, shift the weight, and touch the ball of the foot, lower the heel to almost touching. Taking your time, putting your mind down there in your feet, feel where they're at, peel the foot up, ball of foot. Where the ball of the foot is, touch the heel, lower the foot, shift, and follow step. Let's do one more on this side. Good. Let's bring that foot back and let's do the other side. So shifting into the other side, we're going to advance that foot, touch the heel, Lower the whole foot down. Now we're slowly going to shift the weight. Touch the ball of the foot, lower the heel to almost touching. Step back at a slight diagonal, touch the ball of foot, lower the foot, shift the weight, heel this foot up, place the ball of the foot where the heel was. Touch the heel, lower the foot, shift, and follow step. Being mindful, being in the moment. Ball of foot. Bring it back in and give a little shake. All right, how we doing? Pretty good? All right, so now let's go ahead and do our side stepping. This is really important to help our participants, and we may have participants here, not just instructors, but it's really important for all of us to be mindful to keep that 2 fists or hip width, and to make sure when we're stepping in or stepping around, that our feet aren't too close, because that's when falls happen. So we're going to start out by finding our hip width, our shoulder width. So if you start out in your Sun style stance and you shift into one side, mindfully place the heel back behind the ball of the foot. Now shift the weight over here and do the same on the other side. And now let's center our weight. Have a look down at your feet. Your feet should be hip width apart, or at least 2 fists, and parallel. So let's do 3 steps in one direction. So let's shift into one side. And I want you to think about this. Think about where the baby toe is over here. Where the baby toe is, place the big toe, lower the foot down. Now that it's rooted, we'll shift the weight over. And where the big toe is, place the baby toe, lower the foot down. Now that we're rooted, let's slowly shift back. So really, it's just on the other side of the foot. Now that we're rooted, we're going to shift our weight over. And it's just on the inside of this foot and shifting back. Let's do one more set, just on the other side of the foot, slowly shifting, and just on the inside of the foot and slowly shifting back. Now let's come back to center. Have a look down at your feet. They should be hip width apart, or they should be 2 fists and the feet are parallel. Give me thumbs up if that was able. Yeah, if you're able to do that. Good job. Now, right where you're at. Oh, I'm getting fireworks here. Let's go ahead and place our weight into this side, and where the pinky toe is here, place the big toe, lower the foot down. Now that we're rooted, we're slowly going to shift over. And where the big toe is, place the baby toe and slowly shifting back. Mindfully, just on the other side of the foot. And just on the inside of the foot. We're going to do one more set. And now we started here and we end here. So now we're going to come back to center. Have a look down. You should be hip width apart, 2 fists, and pretty much close to where you started when we first started. So I hope you're able to feel that and put your mind into your feet and keep it within the comfort zone, within your body frame. Now we're going to talk about circle walking. And so this is a fun way to do a step that we're trying to be safe. We're trying to get from the, I'm going to pretend this is the front of my room right now. We're trying to do a 90-degree turn. Okay. We want to get to the 45. Yes, we do have ways of doing that. Dr. Lamb in the video talks about shifting and turning the toes in. But what I have also found that people think they're shifting the weight, but they're not, and they're pivoting on a weighted heel. So this ensures that people are not doing that. But also I got a lot of people that are on carpet and they have large clunky shoes on, or, very grippy shoes. So this is going to help to prevent some of that, wear and tear on the ankle, the knee, the hip. So it's going to look something like this. We'll start with the Tai Chi walking first. So what's going to happen here is we're in our seated stance. And I want you to think about, so where the ball of the foot is, you're going to touch the heel. You'll lower the foot down. The toe is going to turn towards the corner. You'll shift, You'll pivot on the ball. Then we're going to step around. This is the other part where people go too narrow usually. We're going to shift and then follow step. The heel lowers down to almost touching. And then we're going to reset into our parallel stance. So let's do just the footwork this time. And we're going to do a circle around. So follow me. I'm going to have my back to you. So our legs are hip width apart. And we're going to have a seat in our stool. Let's shift into the left where the ball of the right foot is. Touch the heel, lower the toes, shift the weight over, turn the dantian towards that corner, and then you pivot on the ball of the left foot. So we're going to step over, yet forward a half a step, and you're going to shift and then follow step, lower the heel to almost touching. Bring the foot under the hip, under the weight. And shift back into the left where the right ball is. Touch the heel. Turn the toes towards the back corner. Shift. Pivot on the ball of the foot. Now step around. Lower the foot. Shift. And follow step. You should be facing the back of your room. Bring the right foot under the hip to reset. So let's shift into the left where the right ball is. We're going to touch the heel. Lower the foot. That's facing the other corner now, the back corner. Shift and pivot on the left ball. Step over and around, touch the left heel, lower the foot, shift the weight into the left, and follow step with the right ball. Let's reset and bring the foot under the hip. And let's do that again one more time. Think about it. And bring the right foot under the hip. And shake it out. How'd you do? So-so? When you're first starting it, it may seem a little different and maybe a little awkward, but trust me, you'll get used to it and you'll be like, wow, this is great. I have plenty of space and I don't feel like I'm walking the tightrope. So let's go ahead and add the open and close, and we're going to do brush knee with that. And so this is where we're going to get some of those harmonies happening. So, well, if we were to do a 90-degree turn, from open and close, we would shift and we would bring the wrist out from the shoulder, and my hand and feet are connected there. And so then I'm going to separate. So it would stay there at that location, right? At that 90 degrees. But now we're turning the toes, and we want that harmony between that hand and foot and that shoulder and wrist to happen. So what's going to happen when we shift and then step out and shift the weight over? The wrist is going to be out from the shoulder, the palm is facing. So that you're not going to keep the hand at the 90 because you should feel that it doesn't feel the greatest in the shoulder. So let it stay with the shoulder and with the foot. And then when we separate, the hand will be here and then follow step. So let's do that together, but do a circle doing it. And then we'll do our circle in the other direction. So follow me. Our legs are hip width apart. Have a seat on your stool. Let's open and close. Breathe in and out and begin. Shift left where the right ball is. Touch the heel. Shift, pivot on the left ball. Separate the hand and foot. Shift left. Follow step. That's when the heel going down creates the magic that takes that hand forward. So breathe in and out with our reset. Shift left, adjust right, shift right, pivot on left wall. Separate the left hand and foot. Shift left, hand comes towards the head. The heel going down with a follow step is the magic that takes that hand forward. Reset with your open and close. Shift left, adjust right, shift right, pivot on the left ball. Separate the left hand and foot. Shift and follow step right. Reset, bring that foot under the hip. Open and close. Let's do that one more time. Think about it. And let's reset and let's open and close. And let's do it to the other side. This will be our last one here, last set. Shift right, adjust left, shift left, pivot on the right ball. Separate the right hand and foot, shift, and follow step left. Reset, open and close, shift right, adjust left, shift left, pivot on the right ball. Separate the right hand and foot, shift, and follow step left. Reset the left foot, open and close, shift right, adjust left, shift left, pivot on the right ball. Separate the right hand and foot, shift, and follow step. Bring the foot under the hip, open and close, and one more time. Taking us back to the front of our room. And we'll bring that foot under the hip. We're going to open and close, and slowly, slowly closing form. And just taking a moment to allow the chi to settle. And that's our circle walking. I hope you enjoyed the circle walking. And I know you've probably already done the other two walks with Dr. Lamb. And again, he's always done Tai Chi walking. So this is nothing new. I want you to know that, but so we're going to take advantage of all this publicity that's out there on the Tai Chi walking and share it with as many people as we can. Dr. Lamb, I'll take it over to you.
Thank you, Becky. Any questions for Becky? Yeah, raise your hands or yeah, unmute yourself. And no questions?
Oh, yeah,
You,
Byron does. Byron Cole.
Yeah, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Becky,
Yes, sir.
from the parallel stance, if I shift my weight to the left and I step with my right, does that foot come down straight or does it come down at maybe a 15-degree angle?
That's a good question. It's about a 15-degree angle to 20-degree. So you're just going to take it and you can even pick up the whole foot and set it down so it's facing the back corner. And then you're going to shift and pivot. So it could even be a 30-degree. I'm going to be facing that corner over to where I'm at because I'm trying to get closer to that 90, so I can just with ease turn around my spine, lower the foot, shift. So I'm already at that hip width. Did that help? Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
And anytime, always, always, always pick up your foot and just place it down. Don't think that you have to pivot, It looks like Lorna has a question. Lenora, sorry, I'm too far. There's too many people. The lettering's too small.
I know,
Sorry.
I understand. I want to just mention, I really appreciate the fact that you were mentioning when you step sideways for people to visualize their actual foot. I've always had it, I mean, I really know what you're supposed to do, but verbalizing that for participants to really understand what you want them to do is a whole nother story. So using the little toe or the baby toe, big toe, if people can visualize what their foot looks like, they know where their toes are, and then use that as a guide. Usually stepping out is fine. It's when the other foot comes in that they just get baffled with. And I really enjoyed the exercise of the stepping and follow through step and going around the circle. I'm definitely going to institute that in my classes because people understand the follow through step until you put it into a movement. And then they sort of get carried away and kind of forget what the principles are. So thank you very much for mentioning all of that. It was very helpful for me. Thank you.
My pleasure.
That was great. And of course, apart from question, you're welcome to also say anything, pass on any comments. Okay, well, you're welcome to do that. While I'm going to say something, and you can always put words in the chat, and Ernie will help you to talk. Meanwhile, um, okay, I'm just trying so hard trying to get rid of the bell, so I wasn't listening everything uh, Becky was saying. Let me just, I don't know why this thing is here. Um, so I like to just bring one thing. This follow step it's a amazing feature of Zoom style, although originally in chain style there is follow step. That's where the delivering force coming from. So, and I think the first step that Becky was doing, she might have mentioned, but I can mention it again. When you have one step and when you follow, I like you to just get used to this idea as you follow the ball, the foot on the ground, the heel is slightly off ground, and then you'll be pushing down to the ground, seeing your chi, and feel there's a balancing force from the foot in the front. In other words, you don't lean forward, but there is that feeling the energy pushing down, sinking your chi, contract your pelvic floor muscle, and that make your foot in the front also show a resistance so that it's like delivering a force both ways. And then when you use your hands as well, that's where you deliver the force through the hands. But if when you're doing the walking just to fit along, if you can create that force pushing down, sliding forward, sinking a chi with the front foot and resist, keeping your posture right, resist going forward, that create a stable energy underneath your feet. Then it deliver force is even stronger when you have a solid and safe ground. And it's really one way to help us walking, actually, to be if you have time to be just being mindful of not just follow, but having that little bit of delivering energy and moving on. So that is just a little bit of an internal feeling as you follow step. And it's good to separate practicing just the stance, the feet, then extend it to delivering force with follow steps in deliver the force. So I've been it's really wonderful that Becky taught the book and mentioned about the Tai Chi walking back those days. And it just only once she was doing that, first of all, it reminds me that was the very first book I ever wrote. And there was a big story behind it. Uh, but also the other thing is, okay, here's the idea that's been there for so many years. Why is it now catching on so much? I think there is a way of I think something we can learn from how message is spread through the social media and how we can make it as a walking when people thinking of walking it's an accessible thing we do all the time so someone bring that together another word I think it's a way if we bring our tai chi to daily life it'll make it easier to share with other people. And if you want to hear the story, how I start writing the book, yes. Uh, well, you know, I don't know if you guys write books before. Some of you must have, but to write a book to me was like, wow, the coolest thing to do. And I never ever, I love books and I read books, but I never ever thought I would be writing a book. So that was a huge task. And I so happened to talk to Tony, who's an international executive in the pharmaceutical company. He's a really, really bright man. And I don't know why I start talking to him, and he teach me how to start. He write a page praying here, there, and on that process, I start working with people I know, and I met Judy Hoffman. I don't know if you guys heard of her. She is a famous journalist and writer. She's amazing. And she always very proud of telling me that when she was a Newsweek's reporter, Mr. Ronald Reagan, Mr. Reagan, the president, called her by her Christian name. That she was so impressive. So that's something she's very proud of. Uh, and she's an amazing writer. It's just amazing. Like I couldn't believe that's her job. She's professional, and I don't believe she write this. Can you believe that? A professional writer typing with two fingers. Um, and once she writes something, I can understand every word she say, but the way she put every word together, if you go back and read the Overcoming Arthritis, it's just so clear, so smooth, so beautiful. It's amazing. And how would a famous writer like her writing a first book with me? This is back many, many years ago. I only just first came to USA, like 30 years ago. I met her in the arthritis conference. The Arthritis Foundation have an international conference. There's about 8,000 people, and I've never been any huge conference like that. And I never did any presentation. I did a small presentation. They just don't know why they let me in. And I went to Judy was giving a talk. She written a book for Arthritis Foundation called the Alternative Therapy. Some of you might have heard it. It's commissioned by Arthritis Foundation. Those days, Arthritis Foundation was really, really fully grown. Even those days, the annual turnover is $300 million. It's that big. And that's why they have a conference with 8,000 people. So Judy gave a talk on the book Alternative Therapy because people want to know. And her book was so popular, she had the biggest room, and the room was standing room only. Every seat was taken. So there's so much interest in alternative therapy those days, 30 years ago. So so she was the big star talking about her book, and I was one of the guys standing on the back, no seats. And I wait for everybody's gone. There's just a few people talking to her. I went to talk to her. I make myself talk to her, and she she got interested in what I'm doing because she'd been doing yoga all her life, and she loved horse riding, and she felt the horse have a back pain, and the yoga make her worse, and my Tai Chi make her feel better. And that's why when I talk to her, she know me because she did my Tai Chi. Those days were the video, even before DVDs. And she said, okay, I'll help you to write. So she's my co-author. And she was just such a magical writer. I when I go back to look at the book and the way every word is put in, it's just amazing. And yeah, so I've been in touch with her over many years. Um, it's really interesting how my first book came, and since then I write a few more books, and I got presented in a lot more conference. But most importantly, I got to meet so many wonderful people like you guys. Hi, Bill and Linda. My screen, I can only see a few people. It's great to see you all. Uh, that's my story. Gee, bring me back ages. Yeah, one of the first visit I have to USA. Since then, I spend about nearly 2 months every year in USA until COVID. Yeah, awesome.
Paul, in that book too, I think, having the pictures we're all different types of learners. So we hear you say the words, and there's times where, I always tell everyone you are so flexible that he can step farther, but we have to listen to our body and stay with our comfort zone. But when you see the pictures and even the captions under what is said, there's different types of learners that sometimes that's when the light bulb comes on. So it's a great resource. And I also found too in your other book, the 24 Forms of Beginner, that one where I was talking about just going off center. You said this is how to do it and this is how not to do it. I'm like, there we go. Right there it is. So great resources, everyone. So thank you.
Great. Thanks, Becky. Right. I always thought writing a book is really, really something. And it's one of the big ambitions in my life. So I'm so happy that it actually, a book is nothing unless it's become useful to people. Everything we do, Tai Chi walking, it's another way to reach people. And Becky has really a lot of insights, and I like the circles you're doing.
Well, I didn't create that on my own. I learned that from my brother Bill and sister Linda Pickett, and I think they got it from another friend, and so I just sort of modified it to what I'm doing, and you just make it yours and what works for your classroom.
Yeah,
Yeah, Becky, we
that's
have
great.
someone asking, would you introduce that into your classes? When you're practicing every brush knee, would you do it? I know I've been doing it for about a year and a half as a drill,
Yeah,
just so
I
they get to,
I
but not while we're doing the whole, Tai Chi for arthritis. I don't do it each time, but as a drill, what do you recommend?
So it depends on the class that I'm teaching. I always do the forward and back stepping and the side stepping from the beginning when I start teaching Tai Chi for arthritis. But usually I introduce that when I begin to teach brush knee. So I will introduce that stepping, and then I'll start adding it into the warm up with that group. And it takes a while to get them used to it, but I also introduce it in my Tai Chi for diabetes class. I have them take the step doing that for the stroking the bird's tail as well, just because everyone steps and they step too narrow on that midline. And so
That's great. That's innovative. Yeah, definitely bringing things to your class that people like is, well, yeah, it's a great way to share. Sorry, I've been
Dr.
talking to.
Lamb,
Yes?
oh, would you like to take a photo of the group?
Yes, please. That's
Okay,
great.
great. If everyone could turn on your camera, if you want to be in the picture, that would be great. Okay,
How
and
about we do a Tai Chi greeting?
okay, everyone ready? And stay in pose because we have more than one page. I'll have to go to the second page. All right, 3, 2, 1. And let me go to the second page. Hold on. And one more time. Everyone smiling? Wonderful. Great. Okay. How's that, Dr. Lamb?
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Terry. You're doing a great job. Please send me
Okay.
those photos.
Thanks.
And
I will.
yeah. Hi, Kitty, Emery. Um, my screen's not seeing everybody. I think, how do I get to see everybody? Um,
Up in the top corner, click on gallery. There's the little box in the top right corner. And then click gallery.
and then on the side there's an arrow that will
here.
take you to
Oh,
page
now
2.
I see
Yeah.
everybody. Hey.
Oh, we have him spotlighted. That's why. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
he was just seeing him.
I don't think I got in the picture because I really don't know where my camera is. That's awful, isn't it? I
You
don't
should be
know.
on there because your
You should-
video is on, Winnie. Your video is
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can see yourself, you'll be in the picture.
Yeah. Helga, are you there to ask your question about syncing the chi?
Yes. So thank you, Dr.
Okay, go ahead.
for your explanation of the connection between the follow step and the issuing force. You talked about syncing of the chi, and I thought I heard you say the chi sinks into the front foot. And for me, chi was always sinking into the tantien and then circulating from there. I never really thought about, putting it into the feet, but I would love to hear your explanation. I don't know whether I even heard it correctly.
Okay. Well, yes, that's an excellent question. You always have great questions too, Hugo. I didn't mean, well, okay, you're absolutely right. When you sing a chi, your chi sing to the dantian. And for somebody who's not, who want to ask more about sinking the chi, sinking the chi come with song. When you join a song, when you breathing out, contract your pelvic floor muscle, then you feel like a stable feeling. Your chi sinks down. And that's, we always say, chi sink to the dantian. Absolutely. And then as your chi sink to the dantian, then the force, you can direct the force from the dantian to where it is. So in this case, it pushed down on the following foot, and then you're forcing delivering. Chi sink to the dantian, but instantly that energy goes through the hands, and when the following foot pushed down, so the chi doesn't sink to the foot, but it can reach anywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just didn't express it clear now. I hope this is clearer. It's amazing, people talk about chi sing to the dantian. I remember when I was running a workshop in Singapore with 55 Tai Chi teachers. It was limited to only Tai Chi teachers. And there, I was talking about the principle, and quite a lot of them went to get their pen and paper to write it down. And I was really curious. You guys been teaching Tai Chi, most of them full time, for all these years. Some of them been teaching longer than me. You must have heard of the principles. They say, yeah, we did, but nobody explained exactly what it means, how to do it, like how to sing your chi from songing, feeling your energy. So that is interesting. I remember some of my teachers, as famous they were, when I asked them those questions, they said, you always ask those questions. And some of them don't know how to explain it. So it's really nice to verbalize and be able to feel it yourself.
Lorraine has a question.
Hi, everybody. Just a clarification, Dr. Lam. In Sun style, when you do follow step, your back foot is the ball of the foot touching the ground and the heel slightly above the ground. And when you deliver energy, that is when you press down on the ball of the foot and follow step. Is that right?
Yes, whenever follow step, you deliver. And the follow step is additional force. It's not the main force. Yeah, it push down, give you the extra force. Yes.
Thank you.
Sure. And it is originally came from chain style. The follow step with the chain style follow step is a lot quicker. So with Sung style follow step deliver, chain style step down, push down, deliver. You can just see that. Whereas with Sung style follow, it doesn't look, it's harder to appreciate pushing down and then deliver force. But if you think of here, step and deliver force. And when you do it fast, you can just see the extra push. Does that make sense? Don't do chain style unless you are doing it. It's just to let you feel the energy that comes from the stepping. Let me go back to see everybody again. I feel lonely by myself. It's good to see everybody. Yeah, so everybody, it's been a fun forum, and great to see you, great to talk to you. I guess really at the end of the day, anybody, any interest in Tai Chi, it's good for spreading the news, especially if we can be there to explain to people what it really means. You cannot build your muscle like that over a couple of weeks. And that's not about building muscles. It's about building everything from the inside to outside. So that is so different from when I started Tai Chi. Initially, nobody ever heard of Tai Chi, and they often pronounce it as Tai Chi. So it's good that people know about it, and it's good to know to have so many medical studies showing how effective it is. Having that mindfulness, that working internal with the external, this natural way of knowing our body is so useful for the modern life. Things are so fast and so superficial, and AI is helpful, but they also bring things. Also bring a lot of scary ideas. You don't know what's true anymore when you look at a picture. So it's really good to go back to nature where we can really feel our body, be with ourselves, be here right now, and use our real self to interact with our friends. And I think Tai Chi is even more needed in the modern world. Certainly, it helps me to be more grounded back to nature, back to understand where I am. But I'm going to say officially goodbye, but you can stay for a few more minutes if you like. But meanwhile, we will officially close this forum, and I hope you can come next month. We're doing Qi again next month, but this time we have Grannis, who's is it next month? No, next month's workshop. Yeah. So June had no forum, but in July we're going to talk about Qi. Of course, Tai Chi is all about Qi, and Grannis is really well known in the world of traditional medicine. She's a lecturer. She has responsible to bring the traditional medicine into the official world in Victoria. She works in university, and I was reminded she came to workshop before, but I don't remember that. So I look forward to hear her talking. She's a real expert on traditional Chinese medicine, and she does Tai Chi. So that would be fun to hear her aspect of it. And I will be there, of course. This time I'll make sure it's in my calendar. So bye, and keep working. Look forward to see you in the workshop.